welcome back to another video with Enno here from Fantasy Take TV. You're joining me for the round 6 review. This is not going well. Another poor score here, 2108 and dropped another 6,000 ranks back down to 31. So I think the last 3 or 4 weeks I've just been hovering around this similar 25 to 30k rank, and just something goes wrong every week really. And there's a couple of players that we don't know. One that we actually got in this week that was hurting us, but cancelled out one of those sort of anti-pods against me this week. But there's still a couple other guys that are hurting me. So we'll just have to continue to make the upgrades, continue to trust in the SuperCoach process. And look, it's been a difficult year. It's been a really strange year. Just a lot of values working to start off in the first sort of month. And then there's just been a couple of issues, and look, I've made a couple of issues, a couple of blunders as well, and there's probably a couple of trades there that I stuffed up, and we'll get into those in a second. But yeah, so 2108 and sitting about 30k, and I've got 29 trades. So look, I guess that's maybe the only positive, because I think a lot of people probably have a few less than that, but I don't think it really matters because they've probably got 400 or 500 points on me already. So definitely struggling. I'm okay with the team and a few of the primos. It's just there's a couple that we don't have that's probably more the issue. So the trades last week, if we actually go to this tab and go over down here, you can probably see, yeah, so I've just been slowly dropping really, hey. So 6, 7, 11, 28, just the last 3 weeks been around 25 to 30, but it wasn't terrible round 1, round 2, but then just gone out since then. So yeah, the trades last week were Grundy out, as I was going to hold Darcy as my ruck one, and Grundy was the one to go in order to get in Bruce. Rao was going to get in Sicily, or Bowie essentially to Sicily, and then Rao up to Steele. So look, I'm not unhappy with the trades. It's just hilarious that literally all six players in this trade and using the boost all turned up and all had pretty good games. So Grundy went well. Rao got a ton after a couple of down weeks. Bowie went well. I would have held Bowie if I could, but I could only afford these trades by literally, I think, 1,300 or something. You'll see in a second. So I'm still happy I did these trades. It'll be better for the long run. Sicily was good, 110, Steele 140, and Bruce with almost a 120. So look, I think I gained about 30 points off those trades, but in the long run, I think it's better for my team. But it's just funny how that works. We'll head back to the team and we'll quickly run through it. There's not a hell of a lot to talk about. Stewart was all right. He was playing on a wing for a bit. It was a bit annoying, but he does what he does. He even though he starting on the wing, he was still getting back in defence and sort of playing loose. So I think he had about a 40-point last quarter or something. So got his score up to 97. Hewitt, good again. Everyone's got him. He's just been a great pick, and besides SuperCoach, he's been a great pickup for Carlton, really. Maybe even the best of the off-season. So, good for Hewitt. Sicily, we got him in this week. Obviously, spoke about it before. He started terribly. His first 3 kicks weren't even drop punts. He couldn't even spin the ball correctly. And I'm just, thinking, all right, this is the end. But he bounced back nicely. And I think sort of once Sydney started getting on top in the second half, he was able to get a lot more of the ball. So, he was good. Dawson, it's weird that the Crows just sort of dominated the most of that game. They had, I think 20 more inside 50s almost, and with Dawson playing down back, he just just went missing at stages, and the Dogs bombed the ball a lot to Frampton and Doty. So, Dawson took a couple of nice marks himself, but I think Frampton had like 10 or 12 bloody intercept marks or something. So, yeah, as I said last week, I wasn't expecting a great score from him or Hinge if he played, just because of the nature of playing down in Ballarat and just sort of a more contested game. So, we'll take the 80. It's not great, but hopefully he can bounce back soon. Shorty bounced back on the G. Loves the G. Racks it up. He's fine. And Dacos wasn't the greatest first half, but I think he had a 50-point second half and bounced back there. McCartan, that's unfortunate. I sort of always knew this was a risk with him, and I'm sure everyone does, but just only takes the slightest head knock for him to go down. He's just been playing unbelievable, and going back with the flight, you really got to respect what he's doing. But I just, I don't want him to go too nuts about it, because, he doesn't need to be doing that with the position he's in. He's already playing so well. He just doesn't need to put himself in those positions. But the one that actually got him off the ground was just unlucky. So he'll miss next week, and then hopefully he's back the week after. I'm happy to sort of hold on to him still. I think he's got a little bit more cash to make, and others can sort of go first. But yeah, hopefully he's back in a couple of weeks. I think he just makes it with the 10 or 12 days or whatever it is. So hopefully he comes back. And then Hinge, I think he played forward in the Sandful and had about 15 touches or something. I hope that's not true that he played forward, but I think that's where he's named. But anyway, look, really stiff for him to be dropped. And the fact that now they're winning and have won the last couple, it's probably hard for him to get back in, which is just annoying. But hopefully he comes back soon. Into the midfield, McRae, 70 at half time and 20 points in the second half and nothing in the last. Just mirrored that game from about 3 weeks ago and just got pushed out of the mids again. I don't know. Bevo, you just got to expect this sometimes, but surely you leave your best midfielder in the guts. But anyway, I think he'll bounce back this week against Essendon. Jack Steele, I stuck the VC on him Friday night. I was going to do Steele into McRae, so lucky Steele got a good score that I could take, so I took that one. Neil started well again, sort of like McRae, and then faded out a bit, and I think he got a goal late to sort of get to the ton, and Brisbane sort of won that game pretty easily, so there wasn't too much going on there. Took started terribly, similar to Sicily, like 3 or 4 clangers early, but they were free kicks against instead of actually from disposals, so that was just an annoying start, and then pretty much since then he scored 110, 115 for the rest of the game, so if he didn't start like that, it probably could have been almost a 120, but anyway, just another little tidbit in the Touk Miller season that's been. He's averaging 110. It's not bloody terrible, but in the context of things, in this day and age, there's about 8 mids averaging 120, so it's just not going to cut it really. Like, he'll improve, I have no doubt. It's just been an average start, and if you don't have him, he's definitely one to look to get in. So, Butters, I think he had obviously gastro early in the week, just pretty disappointing, but what's been weird, he has like 3 120s and 350s, so he's still averaging in the 90s. I still think he can average, around 100. It's just, got to get the consistency with him. Caniglio was all right, wasn't great, didn't get many CBAs again, but, finds the pill sort of around at the stoppage, coming up from sort of half forward, so whatever, he'll average mid-90s. We're not getting rid of him. Berry actually played pretty well, kicked a goal in the first half, but he just can't sort of kick on and get that ton. But I think he was already in my plans to go this week, which he will. I think his break even is still pretty low. So if for whatever reason you can trade someone else in an upgrade, I'd be happy keeping him. But I think he'll go for me this week. Horn Francis, it would have been great if I could make the trades that I did last week with him going instead of Bowie. Just the way it is, what wasn't to be. As you can see, 1,000 exactly in the bank. So couldn't have got Steele and Sis without getting rid of Bowie, but maybe I could have got someone else like a Mills or something. But yeah, look, hindsight's 2020. Still happy with the moves I made, but Horn Francis will be going this week. It was actually okay. I wish he just would get thrown in the guts a little bit more. I know he's a young player and whatnot, but every time he was in there, I just felt like North had more of a chance of winning the contest. So. Anyway, he will get better. I'd love to, again, hold him probably for longer, but it's just not going to happen. He has to go to make an upgrade. Ward, he's a yo-yo, man. Like, he does something good, and then he clangers straight after it, and he gets done holding the ball after making a nice tackle or getting a nice clearance or something. It's just like his score goes up and down all game. You're better off not watching it, honestly. He's been an absolute roller coaster and, just so annoying to watch. But, I think he can still improve and get a nice score. It's just, he's just going to be on my bench until that happens because it's just, really annoying. And gets the Ds this week, so probably don't expect too much again. McDonald wasn't too flash. Obviously playing that forward role, scores like this are going to come. Not enough cash in him to go anywhere, and, we'll just keep holding on to him. And Owens, we've still got him really as a loophole. If we need one, I will need to trade him out at some point to someone that's making cash or can make cash, but at really this point there is no one, and you sort of want to be making upgrades, so you get nothing out of him anyway. In the rucks, so Darcy, that was just heartbreaking. Like, the first half, I was all up and about, watching the big fella go to work. Got a bit lucky, and then with that centre bounce, him and Pitnet clashing the knees, and Pitto going down. And then he got probably like a quarter against Tom DeConning, but in the third quarter, so early in the third quarter, I think it was Charlie Curnow sort of Clarry's past him or jumped over him and kicked him in the back of the head, and didn't look like much, but obviously the big fella had to come off and do the concussion test and failed it. Like, I don't know how they work, but he probably just no one Shrek. He probably couldn't remember his own name, but anyway, hopefully he'll have to miss the week with the rules, and then he'll get, I think, North on the Friday, the week after Optus, so he'll get Cherry or whoever's playing then, probably still Cherry. So look, he's got to be held, and you'll see when I make the trades in a bit why. But yeah, that's just annoying. Obviously Grundy goes 130, could have kept him instead of Darcy, but if you know me by now, that was never happening. So anyway, he was probably heading towards 120, 130 as well himself, maybe even more, just with the fact that he wasn't going to be up against Pitto, and in the end, Lob kicked 3, and he went 120, 130 himself. So it is annoying, but it's just been that season with Darcy, and people will say, this is always going to happen, but you can't predict a bloody concussion, so get out of here with that shit. So anyway, he'll be back, and he ain't going anywhere. Used Dixon as a loop, so Steele took that score, and obviously got Prussy's score on off the bench. So he was good, but in the last quarter or last quarter and a half, when Saints had literally no ruckman, he should have scored 150. Like, this is, in my eyes, pretty poor from Prusy. He could have gone massive. They had no ruckman. There was no ruckman for half the contest. It's not like it was versing, like Josh Battle or something. Half the bloody ruck throw ups and ball ins, there was no one. So he's just smashing it outside the contest. I don't know. Not like Shrek. They're probably not the smartest fellas, but they needed to work that out. They needed to work that out a bit better, and ultimately, they could have probably got closer to a win anyway. But that's neither here nor there. He'll score well. Gets Rob this week, who Rob's coming off a good game himself, so we'll see how that goes. Forwards, Dunks was good. He was a clear best mid for the Doggies. Heaney just couldn't get into it. I think he had like 6 handballs at half time, no kicks. Got himself into it in the second half, and in the fourth quarter had a couple of nice moments. Big mark, kicked a goal, then another good mark, but just missed with the snap. So it could have been closer to a ton, but we'll take what Heaney's done for us so far. He's been good, and if that's sort of the worst game you get out of him, then you can't be too upset with that. Cherry was okay. Would have hoped for maybe another 80 plus, but couldn't get there. Gets the Blues this week, so maybe good scores in store. Not sure what's going on with Pitto, if he'll be back. So he could get a good nice matchup against DeConning. Nick Martin, man, he's been awesome. Ever since fielding him in round 1, I've just been a massive fan of this guy. Just so clean. Basically the way I describe him, he just sums up everything so well and so fast. Gets given the ball or picks the ball up in a contest. He's able to just assess everything and find the right option 9 out of 10 times. It's just insane for like a 6-game player. So yeah, who knows why the hell he's been in the waffle and hasn't been playing, but he's been awesome. Jack Hayes, that was just sad to see. Like we know, with Paddy, his struggles, but Jack Hayes, the fact that he's been toiling away and, in the sample, gets his opportunity, plays really well in like the 3 or 4 games that he has played, and then that happens to him. It's just really unfortunate, but good on the Saints. They're giving him the year contract, so he will be round for rehab and hopefully back next year. So hopefully we see him. I mean, they'll probably need him next year, really. If Ryder's probably last year, you'd expect, and he'll have to play second fiddle row, and so that every right call to hold on to him. So hopefully, he's back next year. BJ Williams, save the best to last. They say, oh man, this man is just what a terrible trade. It should have been Bruce 2 weeks ago to get, because what I wanted to do is get rid of Stevens. He wasn't going to come back in my eyes, and could have got Bruce early and then just played that week. Hayes turned up actually, so it would have been a plus 60 points that week. Not sure what I would have done this week. It probably would have been worse because I probably would have had to field Durden. And it's funny how that works. Hayes goes 16 and Durden somehow goes worse. So, look, BJ, West Coast got mauled. He's not the greatest player, not even close to even really being a good player at all. So that's That's a bit of a waste, but we had trades to waste. I was, I barely traded up to round 3 or 4 and just thought I'd take a punt on a guy that's going to get, a look at the first ruck roll, but clearly there's a reason he hasn't got much of a look and why they brought Stranatica in straight away because he's just useless. Look, he's got a good leap and whatnot. He's not too bad as a forward, but yeah, he's definitely not a ruckman. So we'll see. Might just bench him this week against the Tigers. Just depends if I want to play like a DeConning over him or something, but who knows? I might just play him again and put myself through the misery. But yeah, DeConning was good. It's funny how he was the best scorer of this lot by some margin as well. And then Durden didn't really catch too much of the game, or I did watch the first half. But yeah, to be honest, I didn't see him at all. I didn't know what he was doing. And then their whole forward line didn't go too well. So I think some people might think he get dropped. I hope he sticks around. I think, one poor game from a small forward, you should still give him another go. Like, he's part of their plans. Him and Owies, the pressure forwards. It's not like you drop him after just one poor game and what do you get, like 5 touches. But you keep those guys around, you give them another go. That's not really their sole purpose in the team. So, yeah, I think he stays. Might even field him this week against North, see what happens. So that's the team and how terrible it is. So if you probably had enough of looking at that, let's just get to what the fun part is about this game or anything positive we can get from SuperCoach right now. And that's trading some motherfuckers out of the team and getting someone good in. So issue is, I probably could trade BJ or something, but obviously Hayes is playing, so we'll just trade him instead. Move this over so you can sort of see a little bit better. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious. I think, he's coming in, and that's Clayton Oliver. And then the more interesting part is the third trade. So we know we want Sam Hayes as well. He's got to come in. And then there is a number of ways you can go here. So Finn Callahan, he's one I like the look of. Without putting too much pressure on the kid, he looked a bit like a young Bont with his left foot and just very clean. I think he had 18 touches and not a single clanger, which is really impressive for a second gamer. So, I mean, there's a reason he was a top 3 pick or whatever he was. The 198k just really, really hurts. And, would only have about 30k in the bank, or not even if I got him in. So, kind of halts maybe the next upgrade. He'd be on field and he might go well. I don't think he's getting any mid time at all. I think he's sort of playing wing half forward. So he's an option. If Roses plays, I think we just get him just with the 270s. Look, I don't think he's a great pick really at all, but the fact he's got those 270s, and I think only needs to get a couple of 50s or something, and he'll make considerable cash. Maybe just eke out 100k for us and we take it. So yeah, look, 47, and he's made around about 80k. Any better scores than that, he makes a bit more. So if he plays, I think we just go him. The other issue is if we do, he will have to be on field, which is a little bit scary. What else can we do? If we do this and put Dacos here, Hinge is another one. If Hinge comes back, I can do this. Put the Conning back here. Get Butters back to the forward line. Probably Nick Mar, whatever. And then just get Roses here. So we have 90k in the bank, and that might be very helpful towards the next upgrade. We'll move the team back here. So maybe, say Hinge plays, we'll play him over to Conning. And then if not, might just have to field to Conning. This is fine. Love the mids. Got 5 big dogs, Cogs, Dacos, Martin. Like, Dacos will eventually go back. I'm not trading him. If I can avoid it with the next upgrade, I would like to hold on to him. And obviously, we've got to bench Darcy this week. That's just the way it is. It's unfortunate. VC, I think Clarry and McRae will talk about in a sec. But then the issue is down here. So, obviously Dixon is out. I have to field like at least one of those guys. I would like to. The annoying part is Dixon can't be used as a loop. So it'd be good if I do these trades, I might actually update this. update this trade, and instead of trading out Hayes, we trade out Dixon. Thing is, Dixon might be coming back. There's no one else. Like, do you do this just so you can loop like in a given week? I don't know if you do. I don't know if that's proper. I think we just roll the dice. Probably not going to be like. Let's be honest. All these people aren't scoring much anyway, so it's not like it's going to be that beneficial. But in essence, we can see what BJ scores, and then if it's well, chuck Hayes on, and then just take a punt on the other two. But yeah, maybe we do that. I'd probably say I doubt it. But it's not looking terrible. So obviously 1 upgrade in defence, 3 in the midfield. But I guess you can count Cogs will be down here, and then the ruck lines pretty much. I think Prusy can get to. If we take a look at his projected, he can get to 450, provided he gets through. Obviously, that's always a worry with this man. But what's it got? Him going 80s or a bit around there. He'll get to 450 by pretty much around the bye. So that'd be nice, and then he can. We'd probably need a 150k, maybe even more, maybe close to 200 to get Gawn in, who was probably who I want, and then go with Gawn and Darcy for the rest of the year. But that's how I'm going to be looking this week. It is very dicey, just with the rookie situation. Like, we're losing points there for sure every week. As you can probably tell, no Brody, so he's definitely killing us. And then no Paddy Cripps, who came back and went bang with a 140. Has North this week. He'll probably hurt us again, but I just think Clarry's just an absolute must-have. He'll be going back to high 600s again. So that's how we're looking. And on Cripps, look, if he's still looking good in a couple of weeks, I might still get him in as an upgrade. I'm undecided. It's just I need a bit more trust from him this year. I know people, after 2 games jumped on and then he did his hammy, but he's looked really good. Carlton in the midfield looked really good. So yeah, maybe if he'll still be in the 500s in a couple of weeks, and affordable, and I could possibly look at getting him as a midfield upgrade. But yeah, bit sketch this week. Happy with the defenders, and happy with that line being pretty much done, because I don't think there's many defender rookies, if any, coming in too soon. Another miss was O'Driscoll. Should have just burned a trade, or it wouldn't have been a burn, but got him for Ward or McDonald or something last week, but wasn't to be, and he's gonna get a nice 100k plus. I know he scored poorly on the weekend, but he's still gonna get 100 and something out of him. So just because all the rookies have completely dried up, that's a big positive. So yeah, not good this week, not good. As soon as I can get the next upgrade done, it might even be a forward just to get one of these guys off field. I mean, it can be a midfielder, but they're going to be hard to afford. And then sort of throwing Cogs back, Nick Martin back, and getting some of these guys off field. Maybe we just get rid of Cherry early and do an upgrade next week. Hopefully just pumps out. If he pumps out a big one, you're going to want to hold him for more cash. But yeah, look, as you can tell probably by the whole video, that it's not looking great. But as I said at the start, we'll stick to the plan. We've got to get in Clarry this week. I think you just have to and whack the VC on him. As I was going to say, against Hawthorn, I can't see me going any other way. And then as a backup, maybe it's Steele against Port. That looks nice. If you got Cripps, maybe he's more of a VC, just because I'm always worried about him getting injured. But yeah, you could whack the C on him as well. Took against the Pies, I don't hate either, but obviously he doesn't really have our trust right now. And then of course McRae against the Bombers looks like a really nice one. So that's it for me this week. Let me know how you went. Let me know if you think the trades I'm doing are all right. That's, I think, my second boost used it'll be if I go with that. So I've still got 3 boosts and I've still got 26 trades, which I think from looking around the place and seeing everyone else is still a bit ahead. But of course, I'm well behind on points. So got to be some catching up to do. Maybe that happens in the second half of the season, around the buys and around that sort of area. But going to have to trade well. Going to have to get some luck. But still, happy with most of the guys I got. It's just really more the 2 or 3 picks that I don't have that are killing me every week, and that just doesn't allow you to make any ground. So, let me know how you went. Good luck for the for the rest of this week and heading into round 7. And I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.
Got the mojo deals, we been tripping like the 80s. Pulling out the coupe at the lot.